Hello there! Today we're going to talk about chaos. Especially in the beginning of your journey to manifest a better life for yourself, some people come across a little bit of chaos. And the thing to know about chaos is that it's not bad. A lot of people find that chaos is something they should not have in their lives, and therefore they quit what they're doing and get back into their old lives. People give up because things start to get weird. But it's good to know why chaos happens. Because while we are thinking things are getting worse, they are actually getting better. The thing about chaos is it's just our old self, our comfortable self, our surviving self is trying to pull us right back into the comfort zone, right back into the known, right back into control, and right back into predictability. The thing is, we are creatures of habit. We like to control things. We have this illusion that we can control things in life. We like to control outcomes, how other people think about us. Everything in life we try to predict, to control, to manipulate. Because we like to know what is coming next. And especially people that are a bit too much in their mind, they tend to overthink situations a lot. But what chaos does is actually, there's this barrier in life. And because you are set in a certain way in your body and mind, and that's what you know, that's what the mind knows, that's what your body knows, every time you go out of that, your body and mind try to pull you back in. And it's up to you now to become conscious, aware of this happening. Because sometimes it's just necessary in order to improve yourself and get a better life, a little bit of a wobble. A wobble in the road. This just simply happens because you need to get out of yourself. You need to get stronger, smarter. Maybe you need to do something in order to become the new person. And sometimes in order to do things, you have to do things that you cannot predict. So what happens is life is pushing you into a direction, into situations, into things that are in the beginning, especially in the beginning, a little bit uncomfortable. And for some, really uncomfortable. Because we are trying to predict everything. And when we cannot predict things, we start to get into this flight and fight mode that we want to predict and we want to know what happens next so that we can indeed know where to escape or not, what to do or what not to do or things like that. But life needs to flow. And you have to accept that in order to become someone new, you have to also do new things. Do things that you have never done before. So yeah, that sometimes can be a little bit uncomfortable. Just because something is not there yet doesn't mean it's not going to be fun. Unpredictability is a lot of fun because in this way you can indeed get things that you never thought of before. Because if you can predict something, that means it's just from the old self, right? The good thing about not knowing is that anything can come on your path. Anything that you don't know. Because if you try to control from the known, that means you're going to go attract things that you already have in your life. Because you can predict it. And when you can predict something that is from the known self, and the known self is limited. The known self only knows so much. So you want to actually be in that unknown. You want to be in that unpredictability. Because that is where the universe sends its magic to you. If you are open to new experiences and new things in your life from the unknown, that's where the magic starts to happen. Because sometimes you have to go through a little bit of chaos. And some people experience it worse than others. Because a lot of people first have a lot to change. And that's when it becomes a bit harder. Especially with controlling people that have lived a certain life for a long time. It is hard to become a new self. It's not easy. Because especially those old feelings and those old habits, they will try to pull you right back. Because it tries to keep you safe. It tries to keep you in a comfort zone. It tries to keep you in the known. And it's up to you now to realize when is this barrier going to appear that makes me icky. When are you starting to understand that indeed it starts to be a little bit scary right now to become this new self. And that's okay, because that means it is working. You are becoming, you're transforming into your new perception of reality. And that has to be from the point of the unknown. You cannot predict what is coming next unless it is something you already know. And what you already know is maybe not as interesting for you. If you want wonderful experiences that you have never lived in your life, you have to let go of what you know. Because there are so many things in life that you have no idea on how they work or what it would do for you. But just because you try to control everything and maybe see it as like when you do a new sport or something like that, like you always have played tennis or whatever, or soccer, whatever it is, and you do another sport, all of a sudden, this is not for me. Because you're new at it, you don't know what to expect from it. People always want to be good right away in everything. And that is why I bring this video out, because everything, you have to see it a little bit as a step. Same thing as everything physical that you want to improve in life, if it's like a new craft, working out, whatever it is, you see that sometimes things take a little bit of time. You have to start somewhere. And mostly that is somewhere small at first. Because when you're going to the gym, you're not going to lift 100 kilos right away. Unless you are really strong by nature. But most people are not like that, right? So like, you have to start somewhere smaller. Otherwise, indeed, you'll hurt yourself. The same as with everything else. All the energies and things like that also need to be treated as you are treating physical things. You need to take care. You need to step it up bit by bit. Understand that there's going to be a little bit of discomfort, and that is okay. It is teaching you something. It's preparing you for the person that you're wanting to be. You're going through chaos because it's preparing you for that new life that you have decided. Because that's how life works. That's how the universe flows. That's how everything flows. You decide something and the path will be created for you. But because you are trying to control everything, you're trying to make your own path, and you can only make your own path by the things you already experienced before, you are going to keep getting the same results. You're getting more of the same and the same and the same, and it's time to let go. Even if you look at it from a physical perspective, it is good to be in the unknown. It's good to do new things and indeed not knowing what's going to happen to you. Because that's the fun in life. You know, what is fun about watching the same movie twice? Sometimes it is. It is fun and we do it a lot. But if you watch something new, not everything is going to be great. But sometimes there's that gem. Sometimes there's that one movie that's, wow, that was an awesome movie. Good that I tried it, right? And of course it's easy from that perspective. But now try it on everything. Be okay with a little bit of chaos in your life. It's okay. And if it is really strong, that means you have a lot to change. If it's very little, if you have very little chaos, that means you are already good. You know, you're already doing good in your life. But the more chaos you get in your life, the more you need to change. And that can be sometimes a little hard for some people. But with the conscious realization of what is going on, with the knowledge that fear and chaos can come into certain people's lives, you understand more about what to do next. You're not going to be too afraid because you know that this is all part of the path. This is all part of the great plan that you have created yourself. You don't know how it's going to happen. You don't know what path or where to walk to or whatever, but you will get there. But first, get more comfortable with the new reality. I had this when I'm from the Netherlands, and I met my wife here, and she's Mexican actually. And we decided to move to Mexico. In the beginning, that was very scary for me. I couldn't speak the language, very different culture, very different country. So I tried to predict everything from a place that I knew. But because it is such a different place, I cannot predict anything. So sometimes there was a little bit of a wobble. Wonderful, like I had a wonderful experience, and I still do. But it took a little bit. It took a little bit of time for me to get comfortable. And now I am. Now it's my home. Now I can do anything there. I can drive around, I can speak the language, everything. Because indeed I had to go through this phase in order to become a better person, to become more understanding. And everything in life works this way. People often think that spirituality is a woo, like a feeling, and everything has to happen magically in a certain way. But you have to treat it the same way as physical things. Because it is all the same. Energy or physical things are all the same. It works the same way. It works in vibration, and everything vibrates in a certain way. So, yes, sometimes there can be a little bit of chaos in your life. get through it. You will start to see things change in your life. You start to become smarter, you start to become stronger, more resilient, happier, more joyful. And that's what it's all about in this beautiful life. So trust the journey that you decided for yourself. And trust that that's why everything is happening the way it's happening. Life is beautiful. Life has to be lived. I thank you for watching this video. And I see you in the next one. Peace.